wow. Holy shit. I guess our title was right.
Yeah.
You know what? I was so absolutely against the whole idea of like, oh, they're gonna travel, they're gonna go to Mustafar and fight each other. And I was like, they're gonna have like a master apprentice like conversation.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of both.
I would say
it was kind of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were like, oh, I think it's going to be more of like a manifestation of her subconscious. I think it was his Force Ghost, but I think it was kind of both. It was like we were seeing him. It was almost like we were seeing his Force Ghost in her memories. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like. Actually, no, that's exactly what it was, because he goes, I don't recognize this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think one of the most haunting things about this was like kind of putting in perspective and trying to remember just how young she was in the Siege of Mandalore. I mean, like, that was a child actress,
right?
And we know that a day, 12 hours later, she's burying hundreds of clones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rex is gonna try to kill her like 4 hours from that scene with the two of them. Live action Rex. I mean, like, holy shit. Got a Princess Leia shout out.
Yep.
Mon Mothma, you know, trying to cover, but you know, you can only do so much. What a goddamn good episode. Holy shit.
I'm trying to find who the actress was.
Oh yeah, that played her. I'm sure it'll be. Give it an hour and it'll be everywhere. Like I said, there was definitely that.
Oh yeah, Ariana Greenblatt.
It is Ariana Greenblatt. Yeah. Okay. That's who I thought it looked like. Because there was that story like a year ago that said one of the Valerian daughters, one of the black actresses from House of the Dragon that played the young ones, they said that the story was that one of them was going to be playing young Ahsoka, but then the second I saw her, I was like, that looks like Ariana Greenblatt. Mm-hmm. But I was like, with the orange skin and the headdress.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
I was like, I can't really. You're judging from like here down. She's a great young actress. Between, you know, young Gamora and in Infinity War, Barbie, like this, she's great. She was great in this. And Hayden was like, fantastic. I heard somebody refer to this as, they were like, this is either gonna be, you know, because there's people out there worrying. I didn't have this worry. I was just like, I was more like, that is interesting that people were saying, you know, we're seeing these two characters together again, but these two actors have never been on screen together. To me, I'm like, well, you know, Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson were never on screen together.
I thought I saw something that they were like really good friends.
They are really good friends. Yeah, they're like, I think at a certain point they were like best friends in real life. Yeah, they've just never been in anything together. Which is
fair
like
enough.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I think Rosario has definitely referred to Hayden as like one of her best friends, and I think you felt that. I mean, that's like. You felt that here. I think that's like crazy to even wrap my head around, that like that picture of them on the red carpet where they're like hugging each other like from like 2005, and then now these are the same actors playing this, like with all this history. And I thought it was great. And those Vader flashes, I know I've said it a couple times on this live stream tonight, I've only watched these episodes through once. I'm gonna watch this one when I get home. At least that section. At least that like 20-minute Clone Wars section.
Yeah, he was definitely in it way more than I kind of anticipated. I would not be, you know, surprised if he's in it more. But this also makes me look forward to more in these last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I think you might
be right that I don't think he's done.
Yeah, I don't think he's done, but I feel like this leaves more room for Bail and Skull, because I'm very interested in his character. Yeah, and I really want to see. Obviously, he wasn't in this episode at all. Yeah, but I really want to see what his like kind of connection / motivation is. Yeah, for what he's doing.
Yeah, know? I mean, kind of going back to episode 4. What do you think he means when he says to Sabine, you know, you and I have, what he says, like, specifically, I think he says, you know, you and I share a common goal. Like, does he want, so here is my broad theory.
Okay.
Which I was already wrong about one thing on, because I thought, so the end of Rebels, right? You know, and anybody who hasn't watched Rebels, forgive us, but like, if you just watched that episode and you haven't seen Clone Wars and Rebels, I don't know what to tell you. Man, for a non-animation fan though, watching that episode, it's like they gave you a sample size. They're like, yeah, the first one, that's what the early seasons are like. The second one, that's what the later seasons are like. But what's it called? So my overall theory was, in the end of Rebels, the portal to the world between worlds from Lothal is on the Chimera. It's on Thrawn's ship, because remember, Palpatine tries to get Ezra to open it for him.
Right.
And Ezra doesn't. Mm-hmm. So what I thought that Ahsoka was going to be trapped in the world between worlds and then come out of that portal on the Chimera.
Oh, okay.
Like, I thought she was just going to, like, you know, world jump. Like, I thought she was going to,
like he does in those, like, 2 episodes where he's kind of running around.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I thought it was going to be maybe she went into the Cetos portal and was going to come out the Lothal portal, which is now not on Lothal, it's on the Chimera.
Right.
So that didn't happen. She's flying there, you know, directly. But other than that, I think my broad theory, I think Baylan, because he keeps, you know, Shin keeps saying, there's another character wasn't in this episode, Shin, none of the villains were in this episode, but you know, Shin keeps saying, what do we get when we find Thrawn? What is Thrawn going to give us? And Baylan's not saying, like, oh, military might or something. He's saying power unlike anything you've ever imagined. Like, I think that Baylan, for one reason or another, might be after the world between worlds. And so I think that Baylan might be after, maybe not after Ezra, but I don't think Baylan's going there for Thrawn. I think he's going there for Ezra. That's why I think he tells Sabine, I think he means literally we share a common goal, is to find Ezra Bridger, because, you know, for one reason or another, maybe he knows that Ezra knows how to access the world between worlds. Little does he know that he just threw Ahsoka into it, you know, an hour ago. But, you know, that's what I think. I think that Baylan is somehow thinking that by either getting Ezra or by getting, maybe he knows about the temple entrance or something, I think he's after the world between worlds to, like, correct some problem in the past, because I think he thinks that it is like time travel, and that's not what it is. Clearly, it's more just seeing the past and visiting the past. Like, you can't change things. Like, that's what Ezra, or that's what Ahsoka tells Ezra in Rebels, is he's like, Kanan's right there, I could pull him out, and she's like, if you pull Kanan out, all of you are gonna die in that explosion if he doesn't hold it back. You can't pull him out. Like, that's like the simplest way to explain it to somebody. But that's what I think. That's what I think Baylan's after. I think he'll cut Morgan in a second and kill Thrawn if he needs to. I think he's after something, because he holds like such reverence for the Jedi. I don't know if it's like trying to stop Order 66 or what it would be. What do you think?
I don't even, like, you know, I'd be willing to hop on that your bandwagon. I don't even, like, because like I just can't imagine, like, what just because he doesn't seem like an evil guy, you know, and maybe, like you said, maybe he has the wrong impression that it's like, oh, he can go back and, you know, change all these things to make sure that, you know, maybe, oh, Order 66 never happened, you know, we never have, you know, we can snuff it out before anything happens. But maybe he'll, you know, obviously he'll find out, like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you can't just go back and change all this shit. But no, like, I'm very interested to see, obviously, what his end goal is. I just want to real quick, like, touch on, like, just, we kept talking about it through the episode, and we've talked about it through the other episodes, but, like, just the production value is just, like, off the charts on the show.
According to us.
According to
the two of us.
I mean, like you said, like, I get what they're doing with the smoke, you know, obviously we're trying to hide a few things, you know, but, like, I still, like, initially when she gets, like, dropped down into, you don't know what you're looking at, and it's just kind of dissipating. You see these clone troopers start running, and I thought all that looked awesome. And like you said, the quick flashes with Hayden and going back between Anakin and Vader, like that whole thing just looked amazing. And I don't understand why every show can't look like that.
I know, I really don't. I mean, I know that I keep, we keep like jokingly saying like, oh, Secret Invasion, whatever. Obviously, Secret Invasion is not going to have a giant, battlefield with lightsabers and it's like, in a certain respect, Star Wars is easier to make look cool because it has lasers and lightsabers and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, then you look at like Cetos, and like, granted, they do similar shots of approaching that cliff a couple times. So it's like, I'm sure they spent a lot of money to get those models looking great and to get that specific thing looking fantastic. But that doesn't like take away from the show. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that people are like I've seen that people are like, well, of course it looks good. Every episode's set on the same planet. And it's like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you like? It's
not a movie.
It looks good, like I don't know, and the ships just look fantastic. Like the Ghost looks so good. Like I said early in the episode, like especially with the Purgles at the end, with the eye that you see with the bright blue lines on it, the hyperspace coming off of their tails, it just looked crazy good. Mm-hmm. And all the ships just great, and like. Even little things in this show, like David Tennant as Hu Yang, like with all of his lines and stuff. So glad that they're back together, that he's going on the main adventure with her.
Yeah.
I was very glad to see that. So,
I think David Tennant.
Shit, dude.
David Tennant, I feel like, is very good at.
David Tennant's having a.
Whenever he's like has a
year.
line, I can like picture like his kind of facial expression. I feel like.
Yeah, like when he did the.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I just picture him going like full like British like droid, just like how do I put this? Like but man, he's having I just started, I know we didn't really do what we've been watching, but I started this BBC show. It's only 4 episodes, but it's called Inside Man. It's on Netflix. It was him. You've probably seen like pictures of it. It's him. He's like a priest in it. It's him and Stanley Tucci, and I won't even get further into the plot, but just like he had that super early this year come out on Netflix. Then he just had Good Omens season 2. Now he's in Ahsoka. Next month he's back as the Doctor on Disney Plus. Like he's killing it. Like David Tennant's having a crazy. All we need now is for him to pop back up in Daredevil, and he'll be in everything again. Barty Crouch Jr. Origin movie on Max. There we go. Father. I don't know. I'm like grinning ear to ear after these episodes.
Yeah, I don't think they've
another banger from Dave.
I don't think they've missed on an episode yet.
I don't think so.
I think
people were really down on 3, and I loved 3. 3 was the one with the space battle. It was basically the whole thing was just the space battle to try and get to land on Cetos.
Right.
I thought that looked great with them going in between the Purgles and trying to, fight
that was probably
the
my like least favorite, but I didn't think it was like a bad episode.
And then even like episode 2, I thought was fantastic. That was where they went to Corellia, and where the guy was like, "Long live the Empire," and the little weasel guy was like, "Oh, we're fine here. You don't have to worry." That was the first fight with Marok. I just think I don't know. And then obviously the first episode was fantastic. Basically just reintroducing Sabine and everything. Mm-hmm. I thought it's been great. I think the show has been like not just good but great. And I love the fact that it's 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. Because with all these other shows, let me be fair, not Mando. Mando is 8 episodes. Right. So that is Mando is a full 8 episodes, but Mando's 8 episodes and the average episode length is like 28 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm not one. I don't harp on the run times, but just the fact that these ones have been longer, and the fact that we've gotten 5, basically on average 45-minute episodes, because one was like 36, which was the shortest. Yeah. But then the first one was like 59 minutes. Yeah. I just if these next 2. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and the next 3 episodes are 25 minutes each. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to be this length till the end. But the fact that we still have 3 weeks ahead of us instead of just one more week until the finale, right. I'm more comparing that to, like, the Marvel shows are all 6 episodes, which is like just when it's really ramping up. It's like, oh, there's one more episode. You know, obviously Secret Invasion was like that, where it was just like, what are we doing just
here? And I know, you know, maybe you'll see this on Twitter. I've not seen like any of that, but maybe I'm just not like following certain people, whatever. But like, I feel like in this show, or at least this episode, at least, you know, there's like, you know, there's fan service, you know, oh, we brought Hayden back, but I feel like they're doing it in a way where it's like, it's not like beating you over the head or something,
and
like
it's servicing the story,
right? Like, or even just the small things like, oh, there's Rex in live action, you know, like, oh, that would make sense, he would be there, you know. It's not like we're going out of our way to I just think, you know, Dave Filoni's doing a crazy good job with this show so far, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, I definitely feel like it's gonna stick the landing in the end.
I'm to the point where I would be utterly shocked if it didn't. Yeah. And I think if it does, if it sticks the landing, I think I'm prepared to say I love Andor.
Yeah.
I love Andor. Going for 2 totally different things. It's like saying, what do you love better, House of the Dragon or Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is almost that different, you know, but set in the same universe, obviously. But I love Andor. To me, this will be my favorite Star Wars live action show. I still don't think, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think it holds a candle to Rebels, but then I'm like, what's better, Rebels or Clone Wars? And then I'm like, I think it's Bad Batch. I don't know. Like, these the animated shows are just so good.
I would disagree with that, but
well, come on. Back half of season 2 of Bad Batch.
That was good. Yeah, but
that was like a 10-episode string of some of the best Star Wars we've ever gotten.
Let's not act like there weren't some stinkers.
No, you're right. You're right. Obviously, it's not Bad Batch, but like, you know, I'm not ready to say that Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars show ever. I still think it probably is Rebels. As good as season 7.
I would have to rewatch to give you like a
to do the full like what's better, Clone Wars or Rebels requires a lot of time. Like, but like, because you think Clone Wars and your mind goes to season 7, and it's like that's not necessarily fair for the entire show because there's 3 seasons.
Season 7 you take out the you take
the
out
Martez sisters.
You take out the Martez sisters arc.
But then I'm like, is the best Star Wars show ever made the 3 Dooku episodes of Tales of the Jedi? I think that might be the right answer. Man, I watched the Sith Lord last week, just the one with him and Yaddle. Like 12 minutes. It's like 12 minutes long, and it's so good. But yeah, back to my original point. If it nails the landing, not just with the finale, but with these next 3, if these next 3 are just as strong as these first 5 have been, I think this is easily the best of the live action shows. Like, I obviously Book of Boba Fett is like, it's like might as well be a post credit scene.
Yeah.
But even Mando, for me, I just think the production value, the storytelling, the pacing, I think it just blows Mando out of the water. And again, Mando season 1, kind of its totally own thing with the story of the week. You know,
even that, but it was like, you know, that was Disney Plus launch, and it's
exactly, and that was like still finding its footing, but like very much comparing it to when it was kind of doing the same thing, comparing it to seasons 2 and 3. This is way better than seasons 2 or 3, and season 2 of Mando is great. Way better than season 3 though, and way better than Boba Fett. Already, I'll say it's better than Kenobi.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Already. And that's a shame. I'm not saying that to like root for Kenobi to be bad. I'm just saying Kenobi should have looked like this episode looked the whole time. And it didn't. It felt like somebody.
I mean, it should have been as good too. It just was.
I know.
Not just
it just
looked,
wasn't.
So it just wasn't as good.
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch. How many episodes is Andor? 6 or 8?
12.
12. Was it really 12?
Yeah. That's what I mean too. It's like it's hard to compare because Andor was 12 50-minute episodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't remember being that many.
Yeah.
And there's only going to be one more season that will be done. And Ahsoka, are we? What's the plan?
At Celebration, Rosario was like, if you watch it, we're going to do more.
Oh, okay.
I think now it's just a matter of when is the movie coming. Like, how many seasons are realistic to do? Because, like, what I don't think is going to happen, I don't think that Dave Filoni can make a season 2 of Ahsoka this involved while also trying to prep for his movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unless they are, like, part of the plan for my movie is Ahsoka season 2. Mm-hmm. You know, if that's the case, then there you go. But even just after episode 2, I was talking to my friend Alex, and I was like, because he was kind of out of the loop on exactly what Filoni's movie was going to be, because everybody just keeps calling it the Mandalorian movie. Mm. So he just thought that Din Djarin was going to be the main character, and that was going to be that. And I was like, no, that's not what it is. It's the culmination of all of these shows. Yeah. They're just calling it like the Mandoverse movie. I was like, I don't even know how big Din Djarin will have a role in the movie, if he's even in it. He could die in the
first 5 minutes.
I was going to say, if he's even in it.
Yeah.
You know, I think if Favreau had his way, Filoni would go make his movie, and Din would be doing Adventures of the Week. But I think the logical choice at this point is that Ahsoka probably is going to be the lead of that movie. Mm-hmm. But after episode 2, I was telling him, I was like, I don't know if I feel like Rosario Dawson feels like Ahsoka enough that I would like enjoy seeing a feature film with her as this character. After this episode, I don't have that issue anymore.
Yeah, I don't think like, do you think like you're saying the movie, do you think it would you want it to be more of like we're teaming up again, or more of like fighting the common enemy, or would you rather see like, you know, like the Ahsoka kind of thing? Even though I know, like you said, it's the culmination. Like, I don't need to see, again, like you say, culmination. I don't need to see Boba Fett on screen. I'll be completely honest.
See, I actually, in that same conversation I had with my friend, I said, if I could get one or the other, I would much prefer Boba Fett to be in the movie than Din.
Okay, fair enough.
Because either way, it would be a side character. Yeah. And to me, Din is the main character of his own show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boba Fett to me is a side character.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that if you put Tamora Morrison in that movie as Boba Fett in a supporting capacity, totally fine. Perfect. I think it's great. Tamora Morrison in this episode, obviously. Actually, I'm going to have to listen. Was it Tamora Morrison or was it D. Bradley Baker?
Oh, I don't know.
I couldn't hear well enough, but I was just enjoying it too much. But
they are very distinctly different, I feel like.
Yeah, like when you listen back, you're gonna be able to know. But what was the last thing I was gonna say? If he's a good enough actor, I think the lead of the movie should be Ezra.
Wow.
If he's a good enough actor.
Who is the
Iman Esfandi? I've never seen anything else he's ever been in, so I don't know. But if that's what they want to do, and that's who they're building up and stuff, then I think that would be great. But I think if the movie just ends up being, maybe it's not one character in particular, if the movie just ends up being, you know, the Ghost Crew, sign me up. Like, if this is the Ghost Crew in live action that we're getting, and they're going to make a movie around the Ghost Crew, and it's Hera and Sabine and probably Ezra as the main character with Ahsoka there too. By the way, where's Zeb? They didn't make that. They didn't make that millions of dollars CGI model for him to sit at a bar in one episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So obviously Zeb is going to be popping up at some point. Damn.
Yeah, I am surprised he hasn't showed up yet.
I bet Zeb's going to be the character witness in Hera's trial.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Carson's going to be like, I need a favor. Yeah. Do we get Agent Callus?
Oh my god.
Okay, do we get Zeb? Last question before we'll head out right now.
Then it's really going like Rebels, like season.
Yeah.
What
but I mean,
would it be 4?
Isn't it? Season 5.
Season
but
5.
I mean, like, isn't it though?
Kind of
is. I guess. Like, it kind of is.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, that show was more like it was the crew.
Yeah.
Whereas more like, again, this show is called, it's like,
yeah,
I understand.
I think it's keeping its focus.
I think
well
so.
On Ahsoka,
so do I. Like, granted, like again, like you said, all those characters are showing up, but I never felt like it was like, again, where, you know, Mando, or Boba Fett, you know, Boba Fett was those 2 episodes were Din.
Yeah,
where it's like, what is this, literally. The Boba Fett show or the Mandalorian show?
Yeah. There's also like Bo-Katan could be in the movie. Probably is going to be in the movie. Like she's another one. Like, to me, I just keep coming back to who makes more sense to be in this movie. Bo-Katan.
It's Tamora playing Rex.
Oh, okay, there you go. That would make sense. As much as I would understand if it was D. Bradley Baker, I think there should be that clear line of, if it's a live-action clone, it's Tamora Morrison. If it's an animated clone, it's D. Bradley Baker. Like, that's why that's why I don't get the people that were like, you know, we're supposed to care about their interaction when these 2 actors have never played these characters together. God. And I'm like, these 2 characters have never interacted in live action before. That's why they've never worked together, or that's why they've never been on screen together before. Like, I just don't understand that argument at all. But anything else?
I don't know. I don't know. That was awesome episode. Maybe I don't know if it was I don't know. I really liked episode 4.
Yeah, I really liked episode 4.
But it was probably like, I would probably go like 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know, 5, 4. You know, I think you could probably do either. Thought Hayden, again, like we said, looked great. De-aging looked better, I thought.
Yeah. And I liked the early Clone Wars hair.
Yeah.
The in between haircut. Yeah, the in between haircut.
That looked really good. Trying to think of anything else. Are you liking the amount of screen time that what's his name again?
Jason.
Yeah.
I am, yeah. I was like, people were like, what was it, the first 3 episodes? They were like, where is Jason? Why is Jason why is he not in this? Or like, I think we knew that he was going to be in the show, but they were just like, why are they hiding us from why are they hiding him from us? And now, you know, in episode, I think 4 was the first one that he was in, or maybe the end of 3. I think it's great. I like that he's along for the adventure, that he's like an active part of it. And I liked it, like she said, without him, we wouldn't have found her. And more importantly, you get season 3 of Mandalorian, Bo-Katan taught, oh, my father, my mother, my sister was royalty. You can't say the word Satine. Yeah. Oh, Obi-Wan, you know, oh, Leia, your mother, she was a brave woman. You can't reference Padme, like you can't say that. This show, I was very worried. I was like, is Hera just gonna keep longingly being like, I've lost people? But I love that in this one, she, you know, Hu Yang was just like, his father, Kanan Jarrus, was a Jedi, and you know, gave his life before Jason ever got to meet him and stuff. And then I loved that bit of like acknowledging Kanan, and then I loved even more Carson Teva going, okay, what are we doing? Like, he was like, I don't care. I thought that,
move on.
Yeah, I thought that was so great. It was just like, that's all right. That's great for Jason. We gotta like do stuff right now. So yeah, I've really liked everything they're doing. Chopper, fantastic in this episode. No Sabine either. First episode with no Sabine.
No Sabine.
I'm very excited for next week. As good as these last 2 episodes were, I'm still super excited for next week. Still no Thrawn at all. I was part of the people that, you know, people were saying like, when do we think we're gonna get him? And they were like, probably just the last 2 episodes. I thought maybe this episode was gonna be when they were gonna bring it in. I thought they were gonna maybe avoid that like kind of Disney Plus trope of like bringing in the big, you know, kingpin in the last episode.
Yeah. I think it was just surprising. I don't think we expected the Anakin stuff to go on that long.
Yeah, no, yeah. I did not. I thought it was either going to be over quickly, or it was going to be the entire episode. I thought that was the only 2 options. So the fact that they were confident enough in this episode to be like, here's Hayden Christensen, here's live action Clone Wars for 25 minutes.
Right.
But here's another 25 minutes of the story that you've been following with the characters that you like. You know, I thought that showed real confidence in the story that they wanted to tell. I thought that was great. But yeah. Anything else?
No, I
don't think so.
I think that's it, honestly.
Yeah, that shit was great. That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will catch you guys next week. Last thing I just want to say. What was I just going to say? Oh, yeah. Follow us at the official PFN over on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We've been kind of slow. We got a lot of stuff going on right now, personally with our trips and stuff too. We're going to get back up into full swing of stuff, eventually. But follow us. Stay tuned for when we do upload stuff. And till then, that'll do it for me. I've been one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
Yeah, I've been your host, TJ Cornwell. Thank you for watching. Check out the reviews on the channel. Check out Sean's reaction to last week's episode on the channel. Yeah. I think it was 100 plus views probably at this point. So check that out. Check this episode out on the podcast feed. And we will see you next time.